It feels like a perfect night. Tubed up like hipsters. Cheers. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. It feels like a perfect night for breakfast at midnight to fall in love with strangers. Uh-oh. Sorry. I just thought I'd, start with Taylor Swift's 22 because we had the re-release with Taylor's version. It's obviously better now. Anyway, let's get to Future Foundations. So, this week, or at least today, what you folks are going to be doing is looking at what we're going to do for several weeks in this class is our stock market activity. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is our learning target. You're going to be able to invest in 3 different companies, and you're going to monitor that value throughout the rest of this course. Now, how do you know you're doing this? Really, this is what we're looking at today, is you're going to research 3 companies that have had previous growth. You can rationalize why that might be a successful company to invest in, and invest and monitor how it does throughout the rest of this quarter. Now, I have an example here of what you folks are going to be doing today. You're going to be doing this, though, however, with 3 separate companies. I'm just going to put this first one out on the table. This one you cannot do because I'm doing a model on it. Now, the first company that you will be looking at, or that I'm going to be looking at, is General Motors. Now, if I Google into General Motors, you'll get something. Actually, we're going to go back a stop. If I put into Google General Motors, this is something that you're going to come up with. Now, let's just break this down. Let me get my highlighter here. There we go. All right. So it has the name of the company right up here, General Motors. We also have where it is exchanged. So NYSE, that is the New York Stock Exchange, which is mostly where everyone's going to get their stock exchange from. This is the symbol for it here in the New York Stock Exchange. That's the one in Wall Street. Now, here is where we need to start looking at some of our big numbers. For this activity, we're going to be looking at the 5-year model. First off, so if I were to look at 5 years and how this company has done over 5 years, it has done very well at a 92.12% increase over at the 5-year period. All right. So general rule of thumb, inflation is between 2 to 3%. You want your stock to be over that amount. So if you invest it in GM 5 years ago, you're making out in more of your money. So if you bought at $33 a stock, now it's at $63.40. You've almost doubled your money in a period of 5 years. So if you bought a bunch of those stocks, that value would appreciate as well. The second thing that you're going to look at is the 1 month value as well. So even though in 1 month, 9.31% is still pretty good. Now, if you go into Google, I want you folks down here to press this more about GM. This is going to give you a bit more detail. And it also looks at the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. All these folks these numbers up here, these are just averages of the market in general. They are not a specific company. So you cannot invest in the Dow Jones, okay? Because that's just an average. It gives you an idea of how the market in general is doing, all right? It's like a summary of the market, along with the S&P 500 and SDAQ. These are just averages. Now, one of the big numbers that you're going to have to find is the volume of the company. This is how many stocks there are to be sold. In this, you can find that volume right over here. And there's almost 19 million stocks that can be sold. Now, this is what we're going to be putting in. All right. We need to, one, find out what the company name is. For me, it's General Motors. The volume, what is this volume stock of the company? This is when I'm going to come back here and press volume from here, and I put that number back into this sheet. How has the company changed over the past 5 years and the change percentage? Well, if I press 5 years here, I'm looking at this number right up here. Let me put a highlight on it. Okay, this 92%. All right. So I'm going to put that 92.12% here. And I'm going to write that in a complete sentence. I'm going to do the same for how has the company changed over a month. 1 month, it's in the same area. I come back and I say over the past month, there has been a 9.31% change in volume or in value. Where is the stock being exchanged? If I come back here, I'm going to highlight for you folks once again. It is being exchanged in the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, right here. So if I come back to my original sheet, I put in the New York Stock Exchange. What type of business is this stock? This is where I want you folks to diversify your portfolios, which means that you invest in 3 different types of stocks. I don't want to see us investing in all automobiles, for example. Here, I know that this is an automobile business. Now, you might not know exactly where or what type of stock you're invested in. All right. So here I have about GM, and over here, it gives me a little brief bio of what it is. American company, automobile manufacturing in Detroit, Michigan. Okay. Now, how do I find that? When you're putting in Google, put in like GM and then stocks. If you want to do Tesla, for example, all right? I'm going to just put Tesla in. Tesla, here it would say over here on the side. If I were to put GE, which is General Electric, all right? There's another one. It's going to conglomerate, incorporate it. I can do banks, or even let's go to Disney. Okay. Here, Disney is a multinational entertainment and media conglomerate. All right. And I can look at all these. There's even more. We can look at Nike stocks. We can look at Under Armour. They're not the best one to look at, by the way. But we can look at Hershey. All right. Chocolate manufacturers. So you need to put that part in right here. What type of business is stock? And the last part is, why do you think this is a smart investment? You should have enough information, at least from the top here, to say like, hey, this is a smart investment because, it's over the past so many years, it's increased, so on and so forth. So for my example, it needs to be 5 sentences minimum. It can be over 5 sentences, but it must be a minimum of 5 sentences. So I wrote, this is a smart investment because over the past 5 years, the company has had a consistent increase and has increased over 90%. According to Google Finance, it is considered one of the most active stocks to be traded. Even in the past month, this stock has increased by over 9%. I think that this that an investment in this stock will allow me to grow my asset, which is another word for money, so that I can sell it at a higher value down the road. This is a safe bet because automobiles are still in demand by consumers, as evident in almost 19 billion shares of the company available. So this is what you're going to be doing. You have 3 of these to fill out: company 1, company 2, and company 3. You'll be filling all of these out for this activity. And then tomorrow, what you folks will be doing is we'll be looking at the opening day values and actually investing in whatever stocks that you have available. Please note that you are only going to have a $5,000 limit. For example, if your stock is over $5,000, you cannot use it. Most of them aren't. Like this one's only 177 roughly at the moment for Hershey. So you can buy that. Like a lot of people will probably do Tesla. All right. See, Tesla is, you can buy a few of these, but you can't put all your money in the bank because they are right now over $1,000. And right now, well, when I'm doing this video, they went down in value, but over the past 5 years, they've gone up quite tremendously. Now, if you folks do have any questions, please send me an email and I'd be happy to answer them. From there, all right. Happy investing.